The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Heckma Harrison, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
It's time for another edition of Mick Shots as we turn the page from the winless New York Jets to the two-win Carolina Panthers here inside. Welcome in to the SWBC podcast studio at the beautiful Star in Frisco,
where not turning the page.
One of us has his cowboy blue on today.
Absolutely.
That's right.
You absolutely.
I don't think we're turning the page, though.
Nope, we're not.
No, we never do.
Not until
probably Thursday.
Yeah.
Get there.
We have no midnight rule.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, sure? There's no midnight rule on this show?
Shotty's the only one with
Shotty's
the
the
midnight
only
rule, and the team, I guess.
Okay.
But,
I like that. I like that.
We want to gloat.
Yep.
I like gloating.
Gloat.
Yeah, I mean, isn't it easier when the Cowboys win? You feel like, hey, let me turn it on and see what they're doing on First Take or Get Up or Sports Center. It's so much easier to listen to the broadcasting.
Because
Is it
they're
easy?
not talking about the Cowboys when they win,
Well, you don't really see us on there much when we win. But, boy, when we lose, oh, my God.
It's a lead story.
Everything is louder. Like, man, they're angry. Why are they so angry? What is going on? What did we do to them?
Are they diminishing the win?
Yeah, no doubt. There's such pessimism out there when we win. It's different this time, though, because as we get into the little breakdown by Heckma that he said.
Why got to be little? Why you got to put little in front of it, man? Why do old people do that? My grandmama used to say your little family and your little house.
You are so right. You are so right.
It's a Southern thing.
I can't even argue with it. But with this complete breakdown that we have here, rundown that
you want to give the headlines?
The headlines first, 48 hours later.
48 hours later.
Second thoughts. And my second thought is there is much more optimism about Dak Prescott today than there was when he was, third in the MVP voting.
He's second in the MVP voting 2 years ago. Yeah.
And there was not, that optimism was not there even as much as it is right now in the way he's playing. Now, both seasons are great. That turned out to be a great season. Now here we are, looking forward to him doing the same.
You know why? Because the results of that MVP voting came out after a playoff loss to the Green Bay Packers 2 years ago.
And come on, man, every quarterback except for Tom Brady doesn't win the Super Bowl every freaking year. Mahomes is the next best thing in regards to the number of wins.
How has Mahomes done lately?
He's done okay.
What about lately, as in the last 12 hours?
Well, the last 12 hours, he's not doing that well. I know that we have a better record than the Chiefs do.
How about that?
I know that much.
How about that?
That was pretty cool last night. Yeah.
So for optimism, have you guys started to sway to the MVP talks of one Dak Prescott? Have you started to have that thought in your head, Mickey, when you're going into writing your article, that maybe I should start this where we're dealing with an MVP season for Dak?
It didn't occur to me until I heard the fans chanting. He's
Wow.
playing well.
The Jets fans were chanting MVP.
The Cowboy fans
in New York
took over the stadium, by the way.
And once again, it's not just the fans. The pundits themselves, for some reason, they're a lot more optimistic this year about Dak. And I think it's because of what he's working against, I'll say, his own defense.
Well,
because they have this record in spite of the fact that the defense is at one point playing horribly, horribly bad.
he's got the number one total offense in the league. Has something to do with it. Number 3 passing offense. Number 1 in first downs. Number 1 in total first down yardage. I guess he doesn't have much to do with number 1 field goal percentage.
No.
And in the NFC, he's 7th in the NFC, 13th overall with a 101.1 quarterback rating. So his numbers.
So you got a lot of good
huge.
quarterbacks out there then.
Yeah.
A lot of quarterbacks are playing well.
Playing well.
Yeah.
But
I just did a chat GPT, and I put in the question, is it possible to win NFL MVP while playing on a 500 or sub-500 team?
and the answer is no.
It's never happened before in the NFL.
And that's why it's time to make a move.
And that's why,
Something's
to answer
gotta
your
change.
question, Heckma, I haven't given any thought whatsoever to MVP on a 500 team.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at this, I still come on, guys. It's early.
No, he's playing great. I'm
Yeah.
not taking nothing away
mean,
from Dak.
But he's playing-
But the team has to start winning games.
Can we live in
order.
the now? Can we live in
And
the
the now is
in
a
the
500 record.
Let's
it's
start
tough
from
to
here.
get to 500 when you've only played 5 games because you have to go 2-2-1 to do that.
But when you look around, the NFL and you look at the teams that are there's no undefeated team anymore. So everyone at the top of the league is 4-1, but everybody falls into the same category. And I'm just saying right now, as it relates to just the numbers and not just the numbers, but what your eyeballs tell you, there's no one in the league playing better than Dak right now. Period.
This is why you don't
Why
get
do you
out
think that
MVP
is?
voting.
Running game.
You don't do MVP
There you
voting
go.
after 5 games.
Or before the season.
No,
It's like, to me, it's like all the Heisman Trophy talk in college football gets started way too early, and it's the same thing if we're going to start talking MVPs in 5 games in the season.
You know.
Arch Manning won the Heisman Trophy before he played a game at Texas this
But
year. I mean,
Yeah.
See,
You know?
that's
Well,
fair enough.
Now that's going to be
And I asked the question, and the answer I thought was amazing.
it's running game.
The running game is what makes everything look more comfortable for Dak right now. They can't just tee off on him. He doesn't have to make miracle plays as he did the year that he was up, that he got second in the voting. Those miracle plays don't exist anymore because of the comfort zone he has back here. He's comfortable back here because that offensive line is doing their job. And I don't care.
Which offensive line?
Whichever one.
First one or
Whichever
second?
one.
the varsity
Just
and the
pick one.
JV.
And isn't that's the luxury right there. Here we are. We got 4 backups playing, and he still looked just as comfortable. Yes, the Jets were having problems, but that Jets team was trying to win that game with everything that they had, and they could not do it. And we looked comfortable as we staved them off.
Look, he's playing like Dak Prescott. Everybody judged him off of last year, right? He played, 7.5 games?
8 games.
Well, he played in the 8th, but he didn't finish it.
Those Falcons, right?
So he got hurt.
Yeah.
He was playing with a beat-up wide receiver core, right?
With
Injuries.
a wide receiver that wasn't in training camp, too.
And
Yeah.
exactly. And so everybody's judging him off of last year instead of 2023, 2022, 2021. He's playing like Dak Prescott.
That's
exactly what
standard.
I
It's
expected.
standard, yeah.
Exactly what I
agree.
expected.
I agree.
But there's too many people out there that don't know because they're not here. They don't see it. And again, it's the Cowboys. So all that factors in.
And once again, we talked about it yesterday, the running game that we have, the architects of that running game that we have now. You talk about the guys game from Arizona. Is that
Yeah.
all right?
Clayton Adams.
Clayton Adams coming in.
Connor Riley.
I mean, I'm sorry. You can see the difference in our entire offense. It makes Dak look a lot more comfortable. Like I said, doesn't have to make any miracle plays. He just sit back there and allow the game plan to come to him. And Shotty's doing it just the way he's supposed to be doing it. The timing is good. The calls that he's making are timely calls, which makes Dak look better in the pocket.
So, yeah, I just think that, that's Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
It's what I expected.
Now you have a Dak Prescott with a running game. That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary.
So the MVP talks, and the reason I'm saying it, to live in the now of what's happening is because we know that no one's going to give him credit for where he is now. Everyone's extending this to the playoffs that you've not even made it to yet, to say what his legacy as the Cowboys quarterback is going to be. And I think if I'm Dak, I'm saying the same thing to myself. I heard him actually say it in a post game that, look, I'm chasing not just the numbers, I'm chasing the legacy of great quarterbacks that have come before me, like the Starbucks, the Aikmans, to be able to make it to an NFC championship game finally. But when you have an offense that's clicking like this, and yet we've been saying, God forbid this defense at any point wakes up. You're going to have a team that is going to be dangerous no matter where you go, because when you go on the road, you take that running game with you. And it takes all the air out of buildings when you go, right?
That's right.
And so it's giving Dak that comfort zone that we saw back in 2016. And if you look at the numbers, it's some of his most incredible years, which was 2023 when he threw for 4,500 yards. He's on pace right now to definitely do better than that. And so obviously health and all that is included in everything that I'm saying. But if this team, and think about this, Everson, CeeDee Lamb isn't even playing. And nobody, and I think
we are not at full strength.
We're not even talking about that. We're not even talking about that your main receiver is not playing, and that's the void that a George Pickens takes up. That's also the void that a Jake Ferguson takes up as well. So it's time to give Dak his flowers and give him to him early, because he's on that path.
I agree. I definitely agree.
What say you, Bill?
There's no doubt. There is no doubt he's playing at an incredibly
Bill says it's way too
high
early.
level.
It's way too early.
Well,
I think
look at his career numbers. He's ahead of Troy Aikman in some things.
he's playing
Right
exactly the way I expected him to play.
Yeah, he's right behind Tony Romo.
It's
This is
not a
not
surprise.
just this year. This has been his career. He just never got much credit for it. So it's not a surprise to me.
And I once again, he doesn't even. There were times in the past where he had his entire arsenal available to him, and this year he does not. And he's playing extremely well in spite of that. And as far as I'm concerned, this is exactly the way I kind of figured things would go. I think what I said in the beginning of the season, we're going to be looking at 500 as we go into the stretch, and that's going to be in November. And as far as I'm concerned, I think our worst playing days are behind us defensively.
That's this class.
This ain't
Well, to tell you the truth, since the Cowboys have, and how many times you think this has happened? They've got the number 1 offense and the number 32nd defense.
Wow.
Still 30 seconds.
Is that trivia?
Because there's a lot of that.
I don't know if
Joe, you got to answer that. When's the last time that happened?
No, I've got no. Well, at 5 games into the season, whatever it is, but that's the remarkable thing of being 500, right?
The goal, I think, for this team should be, let's get ready for that stretch. Yes, you take one game at a time leading up to that. But we know that things are going to get so tight within the next couple, 3 weeks.
Yes.
That we're going to have to be ready on all levels. On all levels. We haven't used our special teams magic as much as we should right now. But I think once we start playing into the season, more into the season, I think every aspect of our game has to be clicking on a tolerant level. Got to be at least tolerant level.
Well, if you think about it, there's no more undefeated teams, right? So everybody's at least got 1 loss, if not more. So they've got 1 less loss than the Cowboys.
That's it.
Looks good.
You know what I wanted to do?
Okay, you tell us.
You have the standings there?
Got them in my head.
We'll do it at the break.
Oh,
Here's what I want to know.
Okay, I got basically have the standings.
The 6 games in a row.
Yes.
From Sunday before Thanksgiving
Yes.
until the second to last game. Those 6 teams, how many losses do they have combined?
Well, okay, let's go through them here. It starts with Philadelphia. They are 4-1. Okay.
Loss.
Kansas City's now 2-3.
They got 3.
Then you got Detroit, and the Lions are 4-1.
Okay.
Then is it Minnesota next?
Minnesota Chargers.
Minnesota's 3-2. Chargers are 3-2.
And
then Washington is 3-2. And so 6, 7, 10, 11 losses amongst those 6 teams.
So they're kind of mortal. We had all those teams going to the Super Bowl, basically.
They're combined 19-11, which is a decent
That's a
winning
tough
percentage.
Stretch. Yeah.
But
It's not as tough as it was at the beginning of the season, though, right?
Yeah, there's some losses in there.
Unexpected losses from the other team, no doubt.
Okay. So Kansas City is a game out of first place in the West. The Chargers and Broncos are at 3-2. They're at 2-3. Okay. The Lions are in first place in the NFC North. Okay.
Win that division.
Yeah.
Minnesota is a game back at 3-2. The Chargers are in first place in the West. Who have I missed in there? And then Washington is in second place in the East, a game behind Philadelphia. So
they're a tie away.
what I look at more than anything are the quarterbacks on those teams. And if healthy, those quarterbacks, Hurts is still healthy, Jaden Daniels is healthy, Goff is healthy, Mahomes is healthy, Herbert's healthy, and in Minnesota you got either Wentz or J.J. McCarthy, whatever. So,
yeah, at that point of the season, it's all going to come down to that. Who's healthy? I mean, November, December.
Look at the Ravens right now. The Ravens,
absolutely.
Outside of
injuries.
the way their defense is playing, and part of that is because of the injuries they have on defense too. Matabike, a big one, and they played without their corner and their safety Hamilton last week. But you take Lamar Jackson out of the equation, and you got Cooper Rush, totally different style of offense.
You become mortal when you play without Lamar Jackson. I mean, come on, you got an MVP in the
look
league.
at Derrick Henry goes 15 carries for 33 yards when he doesn't have
Why is that? Because now you got only one guy to concentrate on?
Which, by the way, looking at the film,
right?
and looking at the All-22, the run defense for the Cowboys, I think some of that, and I haven't been able to look through the whole tape yet, but looking at it early on, there was one play in particular early where Breece Hall went for 9 or 10 yards on a play, and it was solely a product of it was like a zone read, and they handed off to Hall, and Sanborn got out of position because he had to respect the fact that Fields might keep it, and so he was just a step off, and there was a hole big enough, and they got the block on Murray, the other linebacker. The center got the block there, and they got 9 yards. So part of the run defense issues I think that the Cowboys had in this game there was the run threat that the quarterback presented, even the runs up the middle, because you had to respect the fact, what if Fields pulls it out and takes off? So
exactly.
Well, you got to respect it. You got to respect it, and that's the thing that you see with Baltimore, as you point that out. Teams not having to respect it because they're not worried about Cooper Rush running the ball. They're worried about Henry running the ball.
Murray has got to keep that center off of him. He has to keep that center off of him because you got good running defense. They have the ability, each man, to beat his block, to get off of his block. Not necessarily be completely detached, but you want to make sure that you have him under control on this side, and you're free to make the tackle with this side. We always get caught up in where we're still fussing with the blocker. He's gone. You don't have time. You have to get off of the block in a timely fashion, and they kept gashing us over and over again with the same play in the same way.
And whether it's getting off the block or reading and being able to read the run where you can evade that blocker before he gets on you, too, which was what Sean Lee was so great at.
Right.
And that was all preparation.
Anticipation and preparation.
That's right. At read and react. Yeah. All right, just getting started. I want to go into, I've been looking at that 90-yard drive, late first quarter, early second quarter, and the different personnel that the Cowboys used on that, using Lipke and multiple tight ends as well on that drive. It was a clinic that Clayton Adams, Brian Schottenheimer, and that coaching staff put together, especially considering what personnel they had on their offensive line. When we come back here on Mixed Shots in a moment.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Look, school is starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. But we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16. It is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Hey, Cowboy fans, if you're thinking about attending a game this season, visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today. Stay at the team hotel, have dinner with a Cowboys legend, and experience the best sports venue in the world, AT&T Stadium. Also, tour the Star, get autographs from your favorite players, and talk X's and O's with me, Mickey Spagnola. The official travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys will take care of all your travel needs. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your package today.
Back to Mixed Shots.
Match your favorite player with official on-field collections like Sideline, Crucial Catch, Salute to Service, and more. Visit a pro shop near you or log on to shop.dallascowboys.com, a Fanatics experience, and stay ready for game day.
All right, let's talk about what this offensive coaching staff is doing, and especially considering what they had to work with up front on their offensive line with an inexperienced left tackle. Of course, the only veteran that had a lot of playing experience in the past was Terrence Steele at right tackle. You had Akeem Adeniji playing left guard. And you had, of course, Brock Hoffman at center and T.J. Bassett right guard. And in particular, I just love that 90-yard, 13-play drive at the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter that took off 6:10 of the clock, started at your own 10-yard line, and the things that they did using different personnel groups on that drive. And one of the things that I think was a key, Mickey, you can talk to this, is the heat factor in that game. And, okay, so who was the one guy that you were really concerned with up front on the Jets defense? Quinnen Williams. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the snap count in that game, on the season, I went back and looked at Quinnen Williams. In that game, he had 35 of the 60 snaps, which is 58% of the snaps. I think the heat played a factor in this game, getting him off the field. When you were able to control the football like the Cowboys did in particular on that particular drive. He was on. Remember that was the drive. It started with him jumping the count and jumping off sides. Mm-hmm. Okay, so take that play out. He was on the field for 3 plays to start that drive. Then he was off the field for 3, on the field for 3, and then off the field for the final 4 plays of that drive. It was as if the Cowboys coaching staff, they figured out, okay, when Quinnen is off, it was like they went with heavy personnel, had Lipke on the field.
Right at him.
But it was when he was off the field is when they went to, remember they had the screen pass to Lipke on a 3rd down play. It was well designed where Ferguson was out as a lead blocker over there.
10 yards.
And that
And that was a big first down. Nice first down.
Yeah, and that play actually, Williams was still on the field. He went off the field right after that play again. But on those snap counts, the game before against Miami, Quinnen Williams, and of course it's not cool in Miami. Humidity can be up there. He was on the field for 78% of the plays, 58% in this game. And against Tampa Bay earlier this season, 67% of the plays.
Did you just kill your own point?
77%. No, what I'm saying,
like in Miami.
What I'm saying is, though, he was on the field so much, and Miami's offense was not doing what the Cowboys with a 90-yard drive and a 95-yard drive later. Cowboys took advantage of when he was not on the field with some of their play calling, and just that was the drive too that culminated in, and it was with Lipke on the field, 21 personnel, and it was the screen pass to Ferguson. But the way that they manipulated the pass rush, you saw on the Ferguson touchdown where the defensive end came. It was like Ferguson checked him a little bit, but let him go, and Dak got rid of the football on a rollout very quickly to Ferguson. It was all designed. And I thought it was just a master class in coaching on that entire drive.
I mean,
play calling.
You called it 6 minutes, 10 seconds. And I think for me, if you look at it, what Schottenheimer did in that first half, the whole entire game, but specifically in this drive, it was the balance and the rhythm of the offense that kept those drives going. And even when you got to a third down, I don't think you ever worried about not picking up the first down. And you were talking about the rotation, and I thought that was more of the success and shows you the confidence he has in these guys with Lipke, with Flanoy, and the players that contributed on that drive. And so, I mean, it really is a who's who when you go through. Jaden Blue came in, had a 6-yard carry also. And
he picked up a blitz, too, by the way.
Yeah, he sure did. I mean, probably that was the prerequisite to even getting a jersey.
Let's look at even the great years that Dak has had. There were times when our offensive productivity was good, but sometimes our execution in crucial situations failed us. I mean, big games as well, to where we're like, what the hell just happened there? You just don't see that now. When you talked about the rhythm, I always talked about that myself. There's a rhythm to the game. There's a rhythm to each play. There's a count to each play. The Cowboys offensively, not just Dak, but offensively, everyone is on the same page. I remember last year, Ferguson, there were times when we were depending on him to do a particular, commit a particular task, and he didn't quite have the timing of it, and it threw out the entire timing of the entire play. We have not seen that this year. You've seen Dak miss some throws, which he always apologizes about, but for the most part, we are in sync man to man, down the line. We are in sync on what everyone has to do on those plays that are somewhat deceptive. Our deception game is very good because the timing is there between every player. There are times in the past, in the clutch, on the road, when we were just out there like, what the hell did we just do? I haven't seen that this year.
They picked up they converted 3 third downs on that drive, and I thought there was 2 big ones. The slant pass to Pickens, 3rd and 6, and then the 3rd and 1 that looked like Williams got stopped, and he ended up bowling his way for 2 yards.
And that was a quick snap too.
Yeah,
it was. I think it was Hoffman on his own, basically. It surprised Dak with the snap. He reacted great to it, but the left defensive end crashed, hits Williams in the backfield, and Javonte was able to get away from him.
Man.
Yeah, that was going to be a 3-yard loss. Yeah. And if not for Javonte being able to shake him, and then it turned into a 2-yard gain.
So let's just look at these plays now that could have been disastrous. They were not disastrous because of individuals who, as we've been talking about, those dogs.
Yeah.
You got Javonte, he's a dog. Pickens, I'm going to catch this slant. I don't care who's guarding me. Sauce
or no sauce.
It don't matter. Sauce or no sauce. That's a good one.
Even with Lipke, I mean, it wasn't guaranteed that Lipke was going to get that first down. I mean, his running ability, he knew where he had to get.
He went for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he went for it. I mean, you could just see he could have his eyes on that first down. Mm-hmm. And so that's individual work. That's not teamwork. That's individuals taking upon themselves, because I think there's a belief in this offensive system. Even though we've had Kellen doing a good job, but the balance that we have with this system, it just seems to pull everybody else in the same direction.
But if you go back and look at that drive and what the Cowboys had to do with 95, Quinnen Williams, they were doubling him throughout. Every time he was in the game, they were doubling him.
Yes, Lord.
And then he comes out of the game. It was on that blue 6-yard run. He's out of the game, and the Cowboys go with 22 personnel. They had 2 tight ends. They had Lipke in the game at fullback, and they got 6 yards on that play. They got him down. That was a 1st and 10 play, and it was 2 plays prior to the converting and getting the touchdown to Ferguson.
They even threw it past the Schoonmaker for 3 yards.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That is a Schoonmaker sighting. How about
He actually looked a little athletic.
Yeah,
he only
right?
got 3 yards, but he looked
But if
really
you
athletic.
but if you dissect it, it was like the Cowboys coaches had a plan. To your point, they had a plan for when Quentin Williams, when 95's out of the game, we're going with this package. And of course, you have to stay ahead of the chains on that, not have negative plays.
So, Bill, you accused me earlier of drinking the Kool-Aid, and that was the reason why. That drive was the reason why, and I know that we all have been bogged down by this word culture, and you were just talking about those dogs and guys fighting for those extra yards, that the guys that are staying lock and step with their quarterback, because you never know. You said the other day, Dak will throw it to anybody that's open. He's not going to one particular guy. And so what does that do? It heightens your awareness to win your route and also look for the ball, because you don't know when the ball is coming to you. So I think, with Brian Schottenheimer, obviously yesterday we gave his assistant coaches their flowers, and it should be, because the offensive line coach is doing a miraculous job. But what Schottenheimer is doing, even after losses, even after those, overtimes where a ton of points have been scored, he's continuing to bring home the fact that this team can get better. And you see it week in and week out, the improvements offensively. And you were saying, going back to last season, where a guy, look, the sticks are right there. Fight to get to the sticks, and a guy run out of bounds, or not try and fight for the first down. That, to me, is the difference when I'm watching this Cowboy team from what I saw last season.
And I think it's also, too, acquiring players who have the mental makeup to be able to understand situational awareness.
And guys, right at this point, I'm really all of my points I'm trying to make, it goes towards the offense and its production. I still don't feel good about our defense. I won't feel comfortable until our defense can be at just a little bit above average.
Like maybe not give up 400 yards a game?
Maybe not. If we can do that, I don't like.
It was
I don't
step
like
in the right direction.
There's
It was
no
only
doubt.
22 points.
There's no doubt.
In the last 48 hours. Here we are Tuesday.
But it was 3 for a long time. It was just 3 points, right, for a long time.
It was 6 for a long time.
6 for a long time.
Right, they were up 30-3.
So, I mean, I can give them love on that. I don't care how bad the team is. You're playing a team at home that's desperate, and you still hold them the way our defense did. I got to say that we're stepping in that right direction, but there's a lot more to go to where we're going to need not just a game plan. We're going to need the dogs to step up, because there are going to be some games where, hey, our offensive line getting their butts kicked today. There's going to be some matchup problems as we go out through the season. That's where you have to have the individual step up now and make a difference in the game.
Okay, so when we come back, how about this? Who are the dogs on that defense who you want to see step up?
There you go.
I got one.
Okay, when we come back in just a moment.
Look, school is starting and I'm just a kid. And let's be honest, I'm not going to shop for myself. But we can get up to 40% off back-to-school essentials on Uber Eats. Did I mention I need poster board for my science fair, lunch for my field trip, and unlined note cards for my history quiz tomorrow? Or were they lined? Anyway, Uber Eats has all the back-to-school stuff on there. So come on, let's order now on Uber Eats and get up to 40% off. We're cool, right? Cool.
Not literally everything. Promotion ends 9/16 and is subject to change or cancellation. Exclusions may apply. Check app for availability.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Miller Lite, the legendary light beer. The originator, the inventor. If this beer could talk, it'd tell stories about that one time, that night, that one guy, that one gal. Writing a story 50 years long and 50 million friends wide. Because legendary stories start with a light. Here's to 50 years of Miller Time. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
The National Medal of Honor Museum is now open in Arlington, Texas, just a few blocks from AT&T Stadium. Immersive exhibits and exciting technology allow you to fly a rescue helicopter mission in Vietnam and have conversations with virtual Medal of Honor recipients. Come be inspired by these incredible stories of ordinary Americans who did the extraordinary. Get your tickets at mohmuseum.org.
Back to Mixed Shots.
The countdown to game day starts with Rally Days presented by SeatGeek. Get a behind-the-scenes look at AT&T Stadium, meet the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders and alumni, play games, win prizes, and more. Get your tickets for the next Rally Day on October the 18th at attstadium.com/rallydays.
Okay, the Landry shift. A response on Twitter. Myself. Well, let's go around. Heckma, what's your Twitter?
Heckma_Harrison.
Heckma_Harrison.
Yeah. Walls_24.
Okay.
At Spags52.
Okay. I'm CBS 11 Bill Jones. So Gilman, I'm not sure if it's Sid Gilman's heir or what, but hey, Bill, why don't we do the shift whenever we have to try on 4th and 5 or less?
Mm-hmm.
We might get the defense to jump.
I can see that.
Okay, yeah. Everson likes that idea.
The only reason they didn't jump when we did it because we did it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But now if you put it in, and especially
they'll probably throw a flag
when it's deep, when you put it in when we're on the road, it's 4th and 1.
Everybody stands up.
Yeah.
If they do it in the game, guys, you know where you heard it first. That's all I got to say.
We're going to give credit to Gilman on Twitter. All right, dogs on defense. Who you got? What are you thinking? Everson, you want to start?
No, I don't. Go, Spags.
Okay, Mickey, you want to start?
Yeah.
I don't know why I overlooked this.
And by the way, to set this up, if you were just joining us, Everson posed last segment said, hey, we need some dogs to step up on defense like the dogs that are stepping up on offense.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, I saw a dog step up on defense, and I was guilty of not realizing it till the next day. Shamar James had 17 tackles.
Wow.
17.
So it went up to 17.
It went up. When they went over it, they found 2 more. And I was like, where'd that come from? Well, here's what happened. They were getting him ready for packages in the game. And I went back and looked, and third play of the game, the Cowboys had a 6-man front. He was lined up right over the center guard. He was rushing. He almost deflected the pass. The second time he was in there, they did it again, right? And he's rushing. So they're trying to take advantage of his athletic ability. And then the third possession, he was on the nickel defense. And then Sanborn gets hurt. So now they got a shift thing. Murray goes in the middle, Leofau, and James. He ended up playing like, I think it was 73% of the snaps, but he had 17 tackles.
Yeah.
As a rookie.
I did not
That's
know
the
that.
most he's played defensively in a game, because when he first got a uniform on, it was basically special teams. And then all of a sudden, okay, you're going to play these packages, and then, oh no, big boy, you're in.
He played 60 of the 82 snaps in the game.
And they liked him. They traded up for him in the draft.
In fact, the way I understand it is, okay, who's the 5th-round pick? And Jaden Blue is 5th-round pick. So they took Blue first, and they were trying to decide, do we take the running back? We take the linebacker at that point. And so they got the running back. Blue was available for him. And so then they decided, okay, let's go get the linebacker. And so they traded up to just a few spots later.
Was he hurt at Florida? Is that why he...
I think it's more that he was just young, and even though he's been on the field, I don't think there was an injury concern.
But he fell.
I mean, he was only 20 years old when he was drafted.
Ability.
So.
Well, I think we're going to see a little bit more of it. Got to get him on the field, and Leofau too. So there might be a shift in that linebacker corps.
I love it. So my perro, that's Spanish for dog. Getting you ready for Bad Bunny, Bill. Is Donovan Ezeraku.
Oh, damn.
No, don't. You skipped. You skipped.
You forfeited.
You forfeited. Tried to give you a turn. You gave it up. So get to getting.
Go find somebody else.
Yes. Donovan Ezeraku, for me, it's just, look, again, when the whole Parsons trade happened, you realize in the defensive end, the edge rusher room, you were going to need a guy to step up. Sam Williams, Dante Fowler, guys like that. But your rookie is definitely showing you his capability, what he's done in stopping the run, and you see how steady he is and not setting the edge, and things like that I think really drives the excitement for who he is as a young player. And so you go the games that you're talking about where your defense may be called on to get a stop, get the ball back to your offense. It's guys like that I'm saying, look, better now than late, because you're going to have this defensive front step up in a major way. We saw in this game just how much difference getting pressure on the quarterback makes for the secondary. You know that. It's the front supports the back, but Donovan Ezeraku, for me, a pleasant surprise. Love the way that he's playing. He's not the biggest guy in the world.
He's not.
He's like 240 something.
Yeah. I'm vertical. Yeah, I'm just not as when you talk about guys like Sam Williams and how big those guys are, but he gets it done. I mean, great pad, born with good pad leverage then because of his height and his weight. But just a guy that's really good around the horn. I just want to see him get more pressures, get to the quarterback more. But what he's doing in the running game, I'm really pleased with.
Well, he came as advertised as a pass rusher because of what he did at was it Boston
College,
right?
Yep.
He had 16 and a half sacks. So everybody's, wow, this is a sack guy.
Defensive player.
He plays the run.
And he played the run in college, too. That's one of the reasons they liked him.
I mean, he's almost the DeMarcus Lawrence replacement. Because Lawrence was your best run defender.
Yes, he was.
On defense.
Think about this. 2014, who did the Cowboys draft in 2014?
DeMarcus Lawrence.
They drafted in the first round an offensive guard named Zach Martin, and then they drafted in the second round DeMarcus Lawrence.
Out of Boise.
That was Will McClay's first draft.
Yes.
Will McClay's first draft, and then this one, they went Tyler Booker in the first round, and they came back with Ezeraku in the second round. If they get the same kind of production out of those two they got in 2014,
I'll take it.
Yeah, no doubt.
And don't forget Nealon, too. He was playing well. Now, he didn't play in this last game.
Okay.
He had I think it was a knee. But he was playing well, too, at the defensive end spot. And then all of a sudden, Dante Fowler, like, hey, I'm here. Where you been?
Where have you been?
Right?
That's my question. But thank God he showed up.
All right, Everson.
All right, my guy.
My guy.
When I critique players, it's only because, I had the same thing happen to me. Dude, you gotta do better. Someone had to come to me when I was in college. Man, you gotta do better. You can do better. And then I finally had to believe them who believed in me. Donovan Wilson. That's my guy. He's got to play better. He played better in this game.
Yes.
And we have to continue to see that. To me, he was the main reason they were giving up all these damn points early on. But I could see the improvement that he's now conscious of that. Thank God. Because as a safety, you can't be caught up doing whatever the hell he was doing. But in this game, I thought that he showed awareness. We didn't give up really many big plays from the passing game at all, and they have the ability to do that, especially with Wilson.
Garrett Wilson.
With Wilson being out there. So with Donovan Wilson, he's got to turn into that dog that he was. Yeah. I believe that was 2 years ago when he was just really showing, just with the lack of speed that he has. We know he doesn't. At that time, he didn't worry about what he didn't have. He was making plays in spite of, and that's what players do. And I need to see him get back to that guy, and I saw a little bit of that in the game against the Jets. So he needs to be that guy that comes through, handle the seams, handle the middle of the field, come up and make your plays in the running game. That's what he was doing a couple years ago. I got to see that again.
They cut down on their giving up big plays. Previous, when they'd list your 10 longest plays, 6 of them or 7 of them would be pass plays. This time, just 2. 2 25-yard completions and then 2 running plays for 20 at least 20 yards.
Right.
So they cut down on the big plays. In the
They
passing.
gave up enough double-digit run plays.
Yes.
Well,
Double-digit yards.
you can't quite put that
You
on
can't
him.
have everything,
You can't
Bill.
quite put that on my boy Donovan. That's-
No. I got the corners though, getting healthy, Bland and Diggs.
They look, yeah.
And if I think that will improve the defense. I mean, we are seeing signs of them getting healthy,
And communication.
right? And that
It's
I
all
think that'll help
communication.
because it'll help Eberflus being able to call the defense if he
feel
can
more-
trust the corners can handle it.
Did you
They
guys
did a
think?
good job.
Did you guys think? I mean, for me, I think with all the problems that we've been outlining in the defense, going into the Green Bay game, when you saw Bland and Diggs rotating, I'm saying to myself, what the heck is going on? And even with guys like Damone Clark being a healthy scratch, what's going on? And I understand that it's just Eberflus trying to find the right rotation and mix of guys. And you got to applaud the front office for being able to allow these coaches to do that, because here you got one of your highest paid corners out there, the guy that you just signed to a big contract as well, and you're rotating these guys. Any other team, any other time, any previous for the Dallas Cowboys, if these guys are healthy, they're on the field, even if they're not healthy enough to produce. And I think that's a different spin on what you see going on this season, where, the coaches have more control over the personnel. And I think that's a kudos to Jerry.
I saw good body language out there between the cornerbacks, but really the entire secondary.
Well, he was ready to play football.
Diggs, you mean?
Yes.
It looks like it.
Right.
His body language showed it.
Right, like he was a little confident in what
And
he
they
was
were
doing.
talking that back and forth when they were coming out. They were much communication. There was no hey. There was hey.
It's October.
Yeah.
Preseason's over.
Yeah. And he
September's preseason.
And he needed a preseason.
No, it's real stuff.
Not from a
that's true.
health standpoint, from playing football.
Right.
And he's getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had a full week of practice too, so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
And Bland, same thing.
Yeah.
And you get those two guys out there, and then there was times late where they put Bland in the slot and put Elam and Diggs outside.
We hardly have that.
By the way, we have some.
How about that?
We have some breaking.
Yay.
We'll close with this bit of breaking news. A quarterback trade in the National Football League.
A quarterback?
Has just happened. The Cincinnati Bengals have acquired quarterback Joe Flacco from the Cleveland Browns, along with a 6th-round pick for a 5th-round pick.
We're one step closer.
That means Shador's, and that is the headline here. Shador.
We one step closer.
Shador is now the backup quarterback in Cleveland.
Boy.
He'll be dressed out behind Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
But now I gotta say, Dylan Gabriel, he played well. I mean,
He did.
The guy had
He
him.
did.
They had him in position to win the damn ball game. He did very well.
I'm telling you, this isn't my Oklahoma hat I have on.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
But I said this offseason, the best quarterback in that room is Dylan Gabriel.
Man, Dylan Gabriel ain't the best player in that room.
Best
Come on,
quarterback
with
in
that.
that room.
No,
Best quarterback in
not the best quarterback in that room either.
No, wait. Right now.
Okay.
As far as being prepared to play this season.
Okay.
That's not a diss at Shador at all. He's just going to need more time. Dylan Gabriel's got 6 years of college experience, and he is functional and he's a smart player. He can do those sorts of things.
He's managed well.
Long range, it could be somebody else.
Yeah.
Meet me on the group chat later. That's up.
Right now, I would go with Dylan Gabriel.
Okay.
Right now because
A guy that's ready to play football.
That's right. All right, that does it for a Tuesday edition of Mix Shots. You want to do this again tomorrow at noon?
I'll be here for it.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow at noon then.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?